Greetings. So this is going to be another video. I completely forgot to share this with you guys. So we were talking about dreams in the live that I did, and I completely forgot to share this with you guys. So a message was like so clear to me. I heard, write down your dreams, for they are prophecy. Write down your dreams, for they are prophecy. That's what I heard. Because I keep hearing about like journaling and writing down your visions for the new year. Like I keep hearing that message heavy from like multiple people. And I don't remember what video it was, but remember I was saying, if you watched it, I don't know, I was saying that I was getting the notion, instead of doing like vision boards and stuff, to do a journal and write down my visions for the year. And this is something me and my aunt, we're talking about. And I seen like 3 confirmations of that, and I'm hearing it yet and still. So I heard this like really clear. I heard, write down your dreams, for they are prophecy. So this could be like your desires, your dreams, your goals, your visions, that the divine is, that's in your heart. And also like literal dreams, like dreamtime dreams, where you're being led to literally write down the visions and dreams that you have, because these are things that are going to come to pass. Okay. And this shouldn't be a surprise. Like I keep getting this very strongly, like even for those of you that are not usual dreamers, like you're not those that usually dream often or have such visual dreams, but you find now that you're having these very, very vivid dreams. And it says that in these times, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people, and your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. That's what it says. So this is happening. And when I said that it was 2:22 on the clock, 2022, it's going to be very significant when it comes to visions and dreams. Not just our visions and goals, per se, but literal dreams and visions coming. Another scripture came to me, Numbers 12:6. It says, listen to my words. When there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will reveal myself to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams. I can't make it up. Like, this keeps coming. And I feel like for those of you that may resonate with this, many of you are already dreamers. Many of you are prophetic dreamers, specifically. And I'm getting that spirit is saying to share your dreams. Don't hide your dreams. Those that you feel led to share with people, don't hide them, because it will be helpful to someone. Okay. Especially if you're having dreams about people. Sometimes it may be things that are going to be very sensitive or very triggering, but honor what you're getting. Even if the message gets rejected, or people try to clown you or make fun of you, or make you feel some type of way, if you feel pressed in your spirit to share it, do it. Okay. And I heard, they will see later. They shall see. I heard that clear as day. They will see later. They shall see. So it may not make sense at the time, or they may reject it. They don't want to hear it, or you may not understand it, but share it anyway. Because spirit, because I was talking about Joseph, the story of Joseph in the Holy Bible, and Joseph is a dreamer as well, a prophetic dreamer. And I was talking about that in the live, talking about dreams, and he had a prophecy of his brothers bowing to him. He, at the time, of course, didn't understand it, but when it came to the time where he became king, he became a royal in Egypt, his brothers had no idea who he was, because they had sold him into slavery time ago, because they were jealous of him. So him going through his trials and tribulations, his gifting being the thing that helped the Pharaoh interpret his dreams when no one else could interpret them, led him to being exalted in the land of Egypt. And his brothers, at the time of need, their land needed food, they came to Egypt and ended up bowing to their brother, not knowing that it was their brother Joseph. So they will see later in time. People will see. Not saying that, oh, you're going to be worshipped and all that. That's just, to say that when you share your dreams with people, whether it's for them, about them, or just things that, you know, you're being led to share and vision about the world or things going on or whatever, and it may have not come to pass, and people may reject it or reject you or make fun of you or whatever, feel some type of way, get triggered. If it is something that the divine, the Holy Spirit is dropping in your spirit to say, you got to honor that, because it is going to come to pass if it is from the divine. And in order to be sensitive to the spirit, or therefore to hear the spirit, hear God, you got to prep your mind, body, and spirit to hear clear. Because sometimes we can misinterpret our dreams. And I talked about this in another video, that we can misinterpret messages, and that's why we have to be sensitive to discerning what we're getting and what we're hearing. If we're not getting any clarity, sit on it for a little while until you do have knowledge and understanding of what you're being shown or what you're being told. Some of you, it may just be an urgency. You may not know, but you're just led to say, oh, I had a dream about this, and that, and it may not make sense, but you were led to share it because it was urgent. I keep hearing about the Daniel fast. They have like different fasts or whatever. Daniel's fast, it keeps coming to me. Like, I keep hearing about it. I keep seeing people post about it. And the Daniel fast basically is just, you know, eating fruits and vegetables and grains. Rather than like a dry fast or a water fast, it's, you know, eating healthy foods, grains, fruits, and vegetables. So some of you guys might be led to that. I'm not a nutritionist, so, you know, take this with a grain of salt. Consult your doctor. But that's been coming to me. And when you cleanse yourself, you're sensitive to hearing the divine spirit. And like I said, there's something about a dream, and some of you guys may be led to fast to interpret a message or a dream. And spirit is saying to be very discerning with that, because sometimes it's not even necessary to fast. Just wait on the divine to show you, give you clarity about a dream. And for some of you, you get dreams time and time again, and you want to understand them. Again, the key is to be sensitive to the spirit and to understand on a divine level what's being revealed. And it was 7-11 when I said that. But yeah, Daniel, speaking of Daniel was another prophetic dreamer, and he had warned kings. He had warned kings through his interpretation of dreams, because they weren't able to interpret their dreams. He was the only one that could. There was also a story of a part of the Bible where he was visited by angels in a vision, and they were giving him in an open vision what was going on with the kingdom at the time. And he was so frightened by the presence of these angels, like he was trembling, he was freaking out, because he was awake. He wasn't asleep, he was awake. So some of you guys may be, you know, therefore when you're sensitive to the spirit, when you're in a place where you can hear spirit clear and you're open to hearing spirit, you may have angels minister to you in your dreams, or planning divine visions and giving you divine messages in that time. Again, be discerning. But yeah, so speaking of Daniel, I want to talk about him too, because I feel like this might be relevant to somebody. Daniel, it says that Daniel was so distinguished in himself among the other administrators that he had very exceptional gifts and qualities, that the king at that time, the King Darius, he planned to set him over the whole kingdom and put him in a high position. Now, Daniel, being the leader of advisors or administrators, he was an open man of God, and the other men did not like that. They didn't like him. They didn't like him being in charge. So what they did was they created a plan to get rid of him, since they couldn't pin anything else against him. Like, he was blameless. There was nothing that they could find to paint him in a bad light. So the only thing that they had against him was his God. So they agreed to attack him through his God by having a decree created stating that the only one to be worshipped would be the king. And if anyone was caught worshiping any other gods or praying to any gods, and not him, that they would be thrown into the lion's den, right? So Daniel, hearing this decree, he prays 3 times a day for help. He seeks the Lord's counsel and help, right? So these snitches, they hear him and they go ahead and they run and tell the king, like, hey, we heard Daniel praying to God and blah, blah, blah. And this leads to Daniel being thrown into the lion's den nonetheless. So King Darius, he stood by the law. Of course he wanted to, but he really resented it because he found favor in Daniel. He actually liked Daniel, right? So he still threw him in the den for refusing to worship him, for breaking the law, basically, right? So as the king is throwing Daniel into the den, he says, "May your God, whom you serve, continually rescue you." And this was so significant because it says that the king spent the night without eating and without any entertainment being brought to him, and he could not sleep. He could not sleep. He was just thinking about Daniel. Like, he felt terrible, could not rest. So it says, at the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near the den, he called Daniel in an anguished voice. "Daniel, the servant of living God, has your God, whom you serve, continually been able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered him, "O king, live forever. My God, he said, my God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done anything wrong before you, king." The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from the den, no wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. At the king's command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and children. And before they reached the floor of the den, the lions overpowered them and crushed all of their bones. King Darius wrote to all the peoples and nations, men of every language throughout the land, "May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in his heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. So that, again, God's favor is going to shine. And the thing is that when you're sensitive and you're obedient to the Spirit, and you honor that, and you speak truth, regardless of who likes it and who doesn't like it, no matter what anybody does, what is ordained is always going to be. And you see how Daniel gets promoted anyway. So they couldn't stop the plans that were for him. He shut the lions. The angels came to him. They came to his aid. Nothing, no hair was touched on him. No wound was found on him. They did not touch him. They could not touch him. Again, because he was found blameless. So no matter what, you have to trust. This is another sign of divine faith. Faith. Not in self, not in somebody else, but in that of the Creator. And again, people, they hate to, and it's sad, and I understand, like, we've been conditioned to be against our Creator through religion and through so-called spiritual leaders and this person, that person. You know, you're your own God, you're the this, you're the own that. But at the end of the day, God has never failed me. And I know that me, my flesh and bone self, cannot make a lot of these blessings and these breakthroughs and these protections over my life happen. It's not me doing it. So I always give reverence and credit to God, even in my gifting, because it's not solely just me. And talking about God triggers people, but I only speak about things that I'm passionate about and things that I know to be true and things that I've witnessed and I experienced time and time again. Like, God has never failed me. I know that there is a God, and for some people it takes having those stumbling blocks to recognize that, and learning God and seeking God for yourself outside of religion, outside of dogma, outside of conditioning for yourself. But I'm not here to convince or anything to anyone. This is for those who it's for. You gonna know, like, you're gonna resonate with it. I'm not speaking to anybody, but this is not for. So I feel like this is another message beyond the dreams and things like that, is that people are they're gonna be jealous of you. Whatever it is that you're gifted in, whatever you're called to, they can't stop it. And for some of you guys might fear your shine. You might fear your light. You might resent your your gift, your uniqueness, because you want to dim it to make people comfortable, or you don't want people coming at you. Well, it is what it is. Especially when you've been called to be different and you're not moving like everybody else. Any sign of that, people are going to try to make fun of you, or they're going to try to make you seem like you weird, you're crazy, down talk you, because you don't fit in with everybody else. You're not supposed to. You never were supposed to. And that's something that I feel like, we all go through. I go through it sometimes. Like, you're not here to make people comfortable. That's not what it is. And I feel that for a lot of you as messengers, a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of people dreaming dreams and having people that have never really considered themselves to have dreams like that, or be able to even understand dreams. You or others around you, they're going to be able to interpret dreams. They're going to prophesy things to come, whether it's big things going on in the collective, or things in people's lives personally, or visions, or things, blessings coming in to be, warnings, signs, heads up, whatever it is. You're going to see more of that. That's just a given. It's going to be a lot of that. And you may feel like, well, I'm not perfect, I'm not good enough, so God calls whoever. God can use anyone, as long as you're a willing vessel and you have a heart for God, you're sensitive to spirit, to God, you have a heart, you have love, you are a person of integrity. And even some people that might consider themselves bad people, if God wants to use you as a vessel, it's going to happen. And like I said, it's really a lot of people are going to be sensitive to that. Now, some of you guys are already you have the gifting already. You are used to this, or you're getting stronger in your ability to interpret prophetic dreams and get comfortable with sharing your dreams. Like myself, like I've always been able to have prophetic, even since I was a little girl, I've had prophetic dreams. I might have overlooked some of them. I might have not said much about them. But I would have, and sometimes it would just be like little stupid stuff, nothing too heavy, nothing too big, but it would still, nonetheless come to pass. But it's a lot of people, you're going to see it a lot, and people that you wouldn't even expect, they're going to be speaking about it, I'm telling you. But, yeah, whoever this is for, again, don't forget the first message I heard, and it made me even go into all of this and even write this stuff down, was write down your dreams, for they are prophecy. Write them down. And not just your dreams, but like when the visions that you receive, the downloads that you get, that you see, the visions that you have for your life, write them down, because you're going to go back and you're going to look and be like, oh wow, that did come to pass. So yes, indeed. I hope this was helpful to somebody. Much love as always. I appreciate you guys. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Take care. Peace.